FYF Sportsman, it's Lamont, man. We back with another breaking news video. Today's news, man, as you can see, man, news out of New Orleans. Before we get into the news, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We drop these breaking news videos as soon as news drops. And again, we come at all of this news with a unique perspective. Again, we leave our feelings out the picture, and we like to speak on these topics. If you have any questions, if you want to debate these topics, if you don't agree, make sure you hit us up on Instagram or Twitter or in the comments. Let us know. We'll bring you onto the show, and we can debate it live and in person. But news out of New Orleans today, and this is something that, if you look at some of our past videos, this is something that I've predicted that was going to happen, for the last couple of weeks. When we saw how bad New Orleans Pelicans were playing in this bubble setting, and this has just started from the scrimmage games. When we saw that, it looked like they changed the offense up again because the availability of Zion Williamson wasn't going to be there. We just saw how ineffective players like Drew Holiday were. Even with Brandon Ingram wasn't very effective. We saw how Nico Melli, who started the season off with much promise, found a role, was stuck on the bench towards, in bubble play and was essentially ineffective. So a lot of guys that actually have value just found themselves extremely ineffective in the NBA bubble when the NBA season resumed. And again, it's so easy as fans. It's so easy for us to blame players. We blame players time and time again. But me just looking at the way the Pelicans were losing, just from a basketball perspective, strictly basketball perspective, I saw that a lot of the problems that the New Orleans Pelicans were having were strategy and chemistry based. To me it looked as if the players did not like playing for Gentry. His voice did not carry as much weight in the locker room, and you can see that by how hard the players actually played for him when they were on the court. The offense looked extremely stagnant. I said time and time again, there was just too much one-on-one, too much ISO ball, and that's not the style of play that had the Pelicans playing some of their best basketball before the season was canceled. So just to kind of just hear the story out, we're going to send this over to Sports Center. We're going to see how Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, and Max Kellerman break this down. We're going to see what they have to say on the issue. Maybe there's some additional news that they have. So we're going to go ahead and send it over to them, let them break it down, and then we're going to close it out and close it on as we always do with FYF Sports.
Legitimate argument, but I would say to you this. The number one disappointment about the Pelicans is that based on what we were seeing on social media and beyond in terms of Zion Williamson being in that gym, to see him get on the court and to see his minutes managed the way that they were, to see him a bit out of shape, that was the disappointing element, because it almost seemed like from the second game when they got ran out of the gym by the Los Angeles Clippers, they didn't seem like they even wanted to be there, and you just got the impression.
Did he look like he was in basketball shape to you, though, Stephen?
Hold on. New Orleans was about, it just got the impression New Orleans was about this. Let's just wait until next season. Let's not jeopardize our future in Zion Williamson more than actually playing and winning basketball games. That's why I didn't pick the Pelicans.
You're right about that. You're right about that. It did seem that way. But that was partly because I think Zion wasn't in basketball shape. But they have other guys who can play. Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball. They have talent on the squad. And they were their starting five unit was very effective, especially once Zion started playing this season. That bubble, Stephen A., we even have a play-in, and what, are we going to deny it? It's a very good chance. It's because the Pelicans exist that there's a play-in. And they went, just sank. They're like everyone else who had a shot, except for the Kings, was fighting hard, and they just sank.
Well, I don't understand this, how we have concerns for the Lakers and not concerns for the Bucks. They're in the same position. They both locked up the number one seed, but we have concern about the Lakers and not concerned about the Bucks, who are younger.
And we're going to bring it back, man. We just heard at least Max Kellerman, and we heard Stephen A. Smith speak on the the issues surrounding the New Orleans Pelicans. I honestly don't know what's wrong with Kendrick Perkins. Every time the man opens his mouth, he's talking about the Lakers. He's talking about how bad the Bucks have played. Man, this man is really, I didn't want to really believe it, but this man is really stuck on trying to denigrate players that are better than LeBron James. I don't get it. I don't get what's wrong with this man, Kendrick Perkins. These guys are on here supposed to be talking about the New Orleans Pelicans and Alvin Gentry getting fired. And as soon as Stephen A. Smith finishes talking about the New Orleans Pelicans, this man cuts away from the Pelicans and immediately starts talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks, man. Kendrick Perkins, man, you gotta, again, if you're gonna be on these shows, man, you gotta stay on point. You gotta stay on focus, man. You can't always divert and try to save LeBron any chance you get, man. Let that be. There's gonna be other days where we can talk about that. Hey, y'all, the topic on the table for today, Alvin Gentry getting fired. And I've said it time and time again, just like Stephen A. Smith said, the New Orleans Pelicans play lethargic. I said it in my past videos. They were just like Lonzo even said. When Lonzo responded to Bleacher Report's criticism about his game, what did Lonzo Ball say? Wait until next year. Post my stats next year. And my thing is, why are we waiting until next year? So, again, trickling through that locker room, all of these players were thinking about vacation. All of these players were already thinking about next year, and it showed. And from the moment that they got blown out by the Los Angeles Clippers, we knew that this team did not want to be in the NBA bubble, and they played like it. And unfortunately, it cost Alvin Gentry his job. But there were a number of things that Alvin Gentry could have done to make this team more competitive, and he failed to make those necessary changes. Again, everybody thought that the Pelicans would make this at least a play-in game, not even the playoffs, just make the play-in game. And the Pelicans went into the bubble, and they played extremely bad basketball from start to finish. So again, Alvin Gentry is out, man. I'm curious to see who the coaching candidates will be for this job. I would assume that the top candidates will be Tyronn Lue and Jason Kidd, but there are some outside names that I think would be more suitable for this job. I think Mark Jackson, the way we've seen him develop young talent, will be best for this job. I definitely like Fizdale. I like Fizdale, who was fired from the Knicks. So again, there are some coaches out there, some named, some not named. I think there are also some college prospects. I know one of the prospects for this job is going to be a little known person. He's lesser known, but a lot of people have been talking about this man in NBA circles with regards to being next up, the next college coach to make that transition. And I'm talking about Matt Painter out of Purdue University. Matt Painter out of Purdue University, a lot of GMs, a lot of front office people talk about him being the one college coach that can easily make that transition to the NBA. So again, if we have to just throw names out there, we have to put candidates out there. He has to be at least a candidate on that list that you may have to consider, although there are better people ahead of him. I like Mark Jackson. I like Tyronn Lue. I definitely like Jason Kidd. They all already have NBA experience. So I'm curious to see how they move forward. I mean, there are reports out there. During this time, once you're eliminated, people are going to throw all types of trade scenarios out there. I think more likely, New Orleans is more likely to get rid of Drew Holiday as opposed to trading Lonzo Ball. I don't think they're in a position right now where they need to start mortgaging their future. I just don't think Drew Holiday's style of play fits well. From the things that I've been hearing that the Golden State Warriors are trying to find a way to get Drew Holiday onto that roster. And again, if you put another guard, scoring and defensive guard like that into that backcourt, along with some of the draft picks that they have, again, you're looking at a foursome of Clay, Steph, Drew Holiday, and Draymond that defensively will be elite, offensively will be unstoppable. So again, there's a lot of things that people aren't talking about. There's a lot of things that GMs aren't saying. I cannot wait till this offseason starts, because with the Warriors having those really high draft picks, to potential to trade them, with Andrew Wiggins as trade bait, I'm going to be extremely curious to see what these guys do in the offseason and how they bolster that roster. And the roster's already looking promising going into next season. But breaking news of the day, Alvin Gentry has been fired. As we predicted many episodes ago, it is unfortunate. I hate to see an African-American coach lose his job, but at the end of the day, the man was just not getting the job done. The New Orleans Pelicans didn't even look like they had promise. And so, You know, there we have it right there. Hopefully the man can get another job in NBA. I would assume that he's quickly hired as an assistant somewhere, which is what happens in most cases, or he makes him take some time off. You know, I definitely wish him the best, and I'm really curious to see how New Orleans approaches things as they go into the offseason. FYF Sportsman, another great video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to be dropping these videos anytime there's breaking news, anytime there's news relevant to some of the topics that we like talking about, we're going to drop those videos. FYF Sportsman, another great video, and we out.